Hello and happy Thanksgiving. It's finally Thanksgiving. I feel like we've been talking about Thanksgiving for ages, and now here we are. So if you are in that phase of the day where everything is started but not baked, I hope that you are feeling stress-free, relaxed, and ready to eat too much food. And if you're at some other phase of the day, really sorry. I've been in both places, and now I'm just a guest, so that makes it super easy. I could only think of one person who I thought I could corral into saying yes to being live in a non-COVID Thanksgiving year on a show like this at 11 o'clock in the morning. And that is my very good friend, Ellen Shafer. So let's bring Ellen on. Hello, Ellen.
Hello.
Thanks for saying yes to this.
I love saying yes to things, but you're the easiest one to say yes to.
Well, you do say yes to many things, which is one of the, I think one of your better qualities, actually, because it's, this is not about let's make a list of Ellen's poor qualities. But that's a really excellent quality because it means that I get to go along for a lot of adventures I would not necessarily find myself on because I'm not quite as yes and as you are.
True.
Yeah.
I attribute my yes and to a really limited short-term memory. I say yes to things forgetting that the last time really didn't go well because I try to, and I don't think I try to live in the moment. I think that's just my genetic makeup that it's the first instinct to say, sure, why not?
You're a little bit of a goldfish.
I am a little bit of a, thankfully. I don't think I wouldn't have stuck through jobs or hard times or forgive me, my husband's right over there, or 25 years of marriage. Because sometimes you have to be a goldfish because people drive you crazy.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
That's a quality I'm actually working on because I think that I kind of like to hold on to things. I kind of like to, occasionally bring something up. Like Maz and I have this long. What'd you say?
Occasionally bring things up.
But Maz and I have this silly, long-standing joke because the very first episode of Daily Dose we ever did, I made toast for both of us, which then Maz ate, and so. Even still, I talk about, remember that toast you ate 2.5 years ago? I've had a lot of toast since then. It's probably time to let that go.
Yeah, I would agree with Matt.
Yes.
You should let that go 10 minutes after it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably the best piece of toast I've ever made, just as an important
ever. No one's ever going to give me toast like that again, and I shall resent you.
Yeah, it was a lost toast opportunity. And if you know the Del Valles, toast is very important to us.
You suffer. I don't know how you've moved on.
It's Thank true. I'm a bigger person for having just
yes, you are.
Yeah. All right, Ellen. In the spirit of recognizing that you've got people coming to your house, let's get to the questions.
Yes.
What are one or two of the most important lessons you learned before 50 that have served you well post 50?
I think we could go back to what I said about the yes and not actually having a long-term memory on things. Mm-hmm. I don't harbor. I've actually just move forward on things because I know how to play politician in the right place as far as work goes, but with family and things like that, there's a lot of people that you want in your life and no one's perfect at all, and including me. So, I have done so many embarrassing things. There's said so many terrible things in whatever moments, or so many awesome things, but it's all about the human experience. So just before 50 of just being able to say, if that person's important to you and you want them in your life, there's a lot of things you got to let go and move on. Because if you sit and let it weight you down, then it's all you being weighed down. It doesn't make any sense, and I said the same thing. Another thing that I said, we had guests that stayed over last night, which people are like, what do you mean you have guests overnight? It's Thanksgiving morning. I'm like, because I love them. Have them stay over. It's great. Yeah. We were talking about, I got a solicitor call on my phone and I said, hey, I could tell he was from a different country. And I said, it's Thanksgiving in the United States, which is a holiday. So don't call anyone today. Call a different day. Because I don't want to be everyone said, well, I'm terrible to telemarketers. I would have told them off to say, leave me alone. And I said, I don't want to be the source of anyone's misery today. Or any day. So they're just doing their job. And so,
Yeah, absolutely. And for the rest of the world, it's just Thursday.
yes, exactly. But
Yeah.
any day that a telemarketer calls, I'm just like politely say,
Yeah.
nope, thank you. No
Yeah,
need
me
to call
too.
me again because I don't want to be the source of anyone's bad day.
Yeah,
That's too heavy for
absolutely.
me. Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that it never serves you. What is the
Mm,
purpose of making a stranger feel bad?
right. Right.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. All right. Well, I like all of that
Good.
stuff. I,
You
I
don't hate
I
that?
do feel it confirms my toast thing. I will endeavor to continue letting go of the toast.
Good. Okay.
Um,
It's time.
yes, it is.
But I know what I'm getting you for your birthday now.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think
Fantastic.
there's got to be like a toast of the month club or something that I can sign you up for.
You did give us for our wedding. I don't know if you remember that. You gave
I
us
do.
cheese and bread for 3 months, which was
Yes.
delightful from Zingerman's.
Recommend. And
Yeah,
now there's so many monthly things because of COVID. Everything can be shipped to you.
it's true.
Yeah, that it's
It's
there.
true.
It's not as novel, but it's still fun. That
But
I don't
it's
have to
still
go outside.
fun.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. What do you know now that you wish you could go back and tell your younger self? You can pick whatever younger self age you're interested in.
Well, there's always, I think it was Nora Ephron that said that you'll, when you're so self-conscious about your physical self throughout, because I think women are just forced to be self-conscious about your physical self. It's not really, but at the time, I will never have been as, leave me alone, dude. I will never be as thin, or I'll never be as, wear the swimsuit, wear that dress, and wear it now. And that's the one thing I can tell my younger self that, but I'll tell my older self that now. And then
Yes.
something with the younger self where we got all that horrible self-talk. I learned to say, would I say this to Dana? Would I say that to my friend Jody? So,
Yeah.
oh my God, you look so fat. Would I ever say that to anyone but myself? No,
Right.
I
No.
wouldn't.
No.
Yeah. So it's just not. So that's the thing, be a lot more, give yourself a lot more grace. And then also, like, it's been another week of just because Thanksgiving does it. You correspond with old, wishing them happy holidays, and we start telling old stories of. And I have a litany of ridiculous things I've done because I am a goldfish.
Uh-huh.
I would
And
never.
because you're adventurous.
Yeah, and I would never. So that part I'm thankful I have. So telling my younger self, what I might have told my younger self is get more people to do the same thing. Have them not overthink things. There's a lot of people that you think, okay, I'm going to do this, but all these things can happen. Well, you don't know what's going to happen, so just go, just do
Yeah.
it, and fall down, and laugh at it, because in the end, if someone who's your friend abandons you because you just embarrassed yourself or you just did something crazy, then that's not someone you want to hang out with.
Right.
Anymore.
Lucky you for getting it figured out in that
Yep.
moment versus down the road.
Exactly. So that's where I'd like to encourage, my younger self, evangelize a lot more for people just to lighten up and run with things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Last question.
Okay.
What have been some of or the most joyful thing about 50 and beyond?
Well, every year I think is awesome. I think you just get to the point of it's a cliche, you're smarter. So you're like, I understand what's important, what's not. I understand that I don't have to make everybody happy, or I do, you've just got this wealth of knowledge to say, is it worth it? Or is it, do I have to give my time to this? You're a grown up now, and you can just say, yeah, I don't have to please everybody. And you can, just move forward on that. So I think some of the joyful parts are just being able to let go of things and move forward and actually be unencumbered by your own self. Like you see, the inner critic that you've had your whole life. I think at some point you're like, I'm tired of criticizing myself. And I think you you hit a certain age that you're like, screw this. I'm just going to move forward. And we've had this discussion where, it's not fair, but over 50 women become invisible. So that actually is a really high amount of freedom. I see that where if nobody's noticing me, then cool. I can be whatever I want to be then, because I'm just going to, and we both have the same coffee table book of those women that are just got such great sense of style and all these things. I think you can take a lot more risks because no one,
Nobody's paying any attention.
Paying attention to you, and they never were. No one thinks about yourself and as much as we think about ourselves. So no one was paying attention before, maybe in a smaller microcosm of like high school and whatever, just because you can't help it. But now, if anyone's paying attention to me and throws down criticism because of some choice I made, who are you? And I don't care what you think. I really don't. I'm not
Yeah,
burdened by
Linda
trying.
Boyd talked about that too. She said, you don't want to get to the point where you're sort of sociopathically don't
Mhm.
care what people think. But why would you allow what you imagine other people are going to say about you
Right.
to inhibit the rest of the time that you have left?
That's right. So just be, brave. And I'm trying to tell my 21-year-old kid the same thing, which is really hard to be on that side of it at 21. Bravery is really hard because you've
Except,
got your,
except Ellen, where are you talking to him from?
I know he's in Australia.
I mean,
He is.
that's pretty brave.
It is. It is.
Halfway around the world and upside down. That's pretty
Yes.
brave.
And then just him, but taking that next step. We've had
Yeah.
long conversations this week of, him asking me, why are you so concerned about all of this? And I was like, because I am on the long end now. And so everyone has a finish line and it's a hard stop. We all have a hard stop. And as you get closer to the hard stop, you're like, crap. You don't at this stage, I got plenty of time, but today's the only Thanksgiving day for 2022 I'm ever going to get. So how am I going to make it awesome? This is why I'm doing it, because what a great story. I got to take a screenshot of this. So I'm going to post that I was on this because this is what I do,
Well, otherwise, how will we know that we did it?
If I don't take a picture, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
That's my rule. And because I do that, and it's annoying to so many people, I don't care.
Not me. I love it.
I do too. And I love my selfies. I love that because it's also my memories, like all this, that I do because it's fun. And I get those memories on Facebook that I
love it too.
Normally remember.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, the simple things that you enjoy, like just snapping a picture that you walked on the sidewalk. And then you were like, oh, that's right. That was a good day. Every day is a good day, but that's why you just, I don't like the term. I'm so blessed by this. But I am, what an awesome opportunity. And I took I have to show you this, my cookie baking class this week. I don't know if you can see the turkey I made.
Oh,
yeah,
I can a little.
But the woman who taught the class did it for free because she was giving all the proceeds to a friend whose son needed a heart transplant. Some pretty amazing things. And she said, because I'm so blessed, I need to be a blessing. I was like, that is amazing. We all should be.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, there's always somebody who's in a tighter, worse spot than you are. And as a mutual friend of ours wrote to me one day after Daily Dose, because I had said something about, there was no abuse at my house. I didn't have it as bad as a lot of women have it. And she wrote and she said, I want to encourage you to not qualify your own trauma. Your trauma is your trauma. Doesn't have to be better or worse than anybody else's. Your blessings are your own blessings. You don't have to live in the biggest house. You don't have to have the biggest paycheck. You don't have to have the best of anything to feel extraordinarily blessed. And to recognize that a lot of people don't have what you have. And so what can you do to make it better for them?
Exactly. Fabulous advice. That's really great.
Yeah, it was really great advice. I will just say that one of the ways, we could go on and on and on about the blessing you've been in my life because I feel like you are so much like me, but you're a goldfish and I am not. And so that creates this spontaneity for me that I really benefit from. But sitting in that dining room, which does look like you're in a beautiful church, but sitting in that dining room, I'm reflecting on all the birthday parties that I have allowed you to host for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. I laugh all the time about the ways that Rod, your husband, finds out that you're hosting a birthday party for me as I send him an invite on Facebook. Yeah. So, if nothing else, you have that fantastic, fun, spontaneous, yeah, sure, absolutely, quality has meant that so many of us in your circle have benefited from the beauty of your house, the bounty of your table, the spontaneity of you and your family. And that really has been a blessing.
And I do want to say that I can't do this by myself, because if you weren't married to somebody and he's right there, if Rod wasn't up for this, and I said this to work staff too, I can't invite 40 people from work unless I have somebody at home going, come on in. If that person put their foot down and said, absolutely not, I couldn't, I'm married to the right person who's along the same crazy thought as I am. So,
well, a lot of us have benefited from the crazy. So I'll just say thanks on behalf of all of the people who get to enjoy it.
And I hope to continue. I did put we have a weekly highlights thing at work every Monday. And I did say, if nobody has a place to go for Thanksgiving, come on over. Nobody took me up on it, but I got a call from somebody saying, why would you do that? there's so many weird people that work here. And I go, that's what I'm hoping for. All the weird people that don't have a place to go, that they actually that they know they do, whether they take advantage of it or not, that somebody out there just said, hey, I've got a seat at my table for you. If you want to take it, I know you don't know me and never met me. And that's a big ask for anyone. Like this complete stranger in our weekly newsletter said I could come over. That's, you know, that takes a brave person to actually say yes to that. But I just wanted people to know, and I'm sincere about it. Absolutely. And that's what I told the guy that called me. He's like, there's, you know how big we are. You could have 100 people. And I'm like, then I cook for 100.
Right. Yep. And people are sitting at card tables.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, my dream is to be the Higgins family from Ted Lasso. I know. Where you just look around this incredible table of people. And we have opened up our house too and had not complete strangers, but had people take advantage of it. Those are the best. You don't know what kind of conversation you're going to have. Right. When you and I get together, we know exactly what we're going to talk about because we talk all the time. What happens when you throw somebody you don't know into the mix? You don't know. And that's part of the mystery and joy of it.
Exactly. That's the love of the joy of life.
Well, I hope somebody calls you at like 12:45 and says, could I still come?
I was going to know you'll say yes. I was going to check my email from work to see if actually somebody did wake up going, you know, I feel like it. And nobody so far. But if
let me say, anybody from work, if you happen to catch this, say yes. The food and the hospitality will make you glad you did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun.
Thank you. This was super fun. I knew you would be a great conversation today. I really appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your whole crazy bunch.
Tell your mom hi. Her setup is
will. Yeah, I know. There's 4 people in the house. It sounds like there's 60 people here. I don't quite understand it. It's all good. We'll talk soon. Everybody else, see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thanks, Ellen. Bye.